Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas. Today's surfboard review is the CI Happy Every Day. Now I've got a bunch of special guest surfers. Everybody's ripping. People are loving the Happy Every Day. This is gonna be fun. Sit back, get your favorite drink, enjoy the show. Now this particular board review has taken us quite a bit of time to get it done. If you're familiar with the show, I had full hip replacement on my back leg roughly 2 years ago, and I had a stock 5.7 Spine Tech and a stock 5.7 PU Poly before hip surgery even happened. And when I stepped on the 5.7 Spine Tech, I actually had 2 days back to back at some of the point breaks in Southern California where I just had a bunch of rights and the board was feeling so good. I was riding my Raked template and the board had tons of drive. It had that quick get up and go speed. And I was really enjoying the way the rail settles down and gives me that speed through turns. One of the things I was thinking about as I was looking back at the footage, for me, I feel like the Happy Every Day with its little bit more generous width in the nose and the tail, this kind of outline for me is a perfect high performance shortboard. Now, they created the Happy Every Day as a small wave performance board, and I feel like as people rode it more and more, it goes well in overhead surf. And so some of the waves I was putting it in, I felt like I was doing good enough carves and getting vertical into the lip where I'm feeling like, man, this actually feels more like a high performance shortboard, just super forgiving. Then I went into full hip surgery. And when I came out roughly 8 months later, Aaron and I took a trip to Puerto Rico and the waves were subpar. I took a 5.7 PU Poly because in January when we went, my buddy Magnum was telling me that's when they get quite a bit of wind and texture. And for the most part, the entire time we were there, it had a bit of bump to it. Now, I didn't have full range of motion with my body, so go easy with me. I'm gonna show you some clips, basically me riding the PU Poly in 5.7 as a thruster and a quad, and just not being able to get low enough. But I mentioned that this board's very forgiving. I just felt like the sweet spot under the front foot is pretty generous. I wasn't able to get as low as I wanted, but I rode the Happy Every Day in like this chest high and below kind of mushy wave. And it actually carried pretty good speed. And the more I rode it, the more I liked it. Then we got a little bit of a swell and I got it on a couple of proper waves where it was like head high, a little bit over. And I felt like I got to do a little bit better surfing because it took less out of my body to generate that speed. Now, fast forward to moving to Waco and getting, this is a stock 5.6 coming in at 25.1 liters, which is quite a bit less volume than the stock 5.7 coming in, I think it's 26.4. So being able to go down in volume, I got this 5.6 at the pool, and then I started running all kinds of different fin configurations, and this board was feeling excellent both front side and back side at Waco. Now I started with the pivot twin plus trailer in the pre-preg carbon, and it kind of felt like it had the drive and the squirt, but it was a little bit loose and hard to control at the peak of a turn. So then I went to a thruster template, which was the raked one, and I have the neutral template, and both of those felt great. I actually preferred the Happy Every Day at Waco, running it as a thruster with both of those templates, really leaning more towards the raked set, which is gonna be a little bit more like the CI fins. Now, I will say this, for our community, I feel like this is the perfect high performance shortboard for maybe 2 to 6 foot surf. For that intermediate to advanced surfer, yeah, it's a daily driver. Yeah, it's a small wave performance board. I really feel like CI did a great job on this particular model, and I think this board should be on your radar.
Hi there, this is Shey Yates with XTR Epoxy Tech. Today we're talking about the CI Happy Every Day. This one's mine, coming in at 5'9", 19 3/4, 2.5, just about 30 liters, slightly thereover, is built with our Carbon Lite technology. Carbon Lite is a great flex pattern for short boards, high performance boards. giving you the flex pattern that we're all used to in a linear flex, mimicking a wood stringer, but reinforcing it with carbon instead of wood. When you remove that wood, you lose some weight and get a lot more response, along with some street speed, drive, and pop, all things that we love out of our surfboards. So that is the main feature behind the Carbon Lite technology. Noel's favorite technology and flex pattern, mine as well. It went really well on this Happy Every Day when we were in the pool at Waco. This wider outline of a shortboard are always my favorite types. Shortboard, really easy, user-friendly. Big hip in the tail here to have a little release point. A single concave underneath your front foot, moving to the double off the tail. Makes it extremely fast when you're coming off the bottom, and then releasing real well with the wide outline. Sort of a relaxed rocker, medium entry rocker, going out the tail with not much tail rocker, keeping your speed up. In most conditions, nice medium rail, so not too much grab or too chunky of a rail where you can't dig it in and really lean into some turns. So great all around board shape and rocker and foil that I like on this board. I rode the FCS II large performer fins in performance glass. These fins are great in this surfboard, a nice neutral template for the width that you have in this outline, letting you really feel the surfboard out. I usually like to use a neutral template when riding a new shape so I can really feel the shape of the board instead of the fin. These fins work real great with a little bit of stiffness out of the performance glass when there's flex in the surfboard. It's nice to have one element of your board that can be true to what you're used to and what you're feeling, so that fin is nice and stiff so the board can flex. This board worked real well in the ocean as well as the pool. When I took it out in the ocean here in Southern California, it worked great. Great grab and go shortboard, where it'll paddle well with the width underneath the front in your chest here. Low rocker to get you into a lot of waves, keep your speed up in the less than favorable conditions. When you still want to rip, you can ride it, but you don't want to take out your groveler or your fish. This is the board choice for you.
Hey guys, I'm Eric Peterson. I'm 5'8", 180 pounds, and this is the Channel Island Happy Every Day. This is a stock 5'9", it's 29.4 liters, and it's in their Spine Tech epoxy technology. I had a chance to ride this board at the wave pool in Waco, Texas, and had a blast on it. It looks and feels like a shortboard, but with the wider tail and flatter rocker, it gave me a lot of speed in the pool, especially through carves. It felt really good off the lip too, and I had a lot of fun drifting the tail on this board. It was nice and loose off the top. So at the pool, this board felt really good. I will say this, it felt like maybe it was an inch or an inch and a half too long at the pool. So when I'd go up and try to go vertical in some of those steeper sections, especially backside, when I was coming back down, I felt like I had a little too much board in front of me. So if I could shorten this board up a little bit, like an inch or an inch and a half, and keep the same volume, I think that would have been better at the pool. I also rode this board at home in North Florida, and it felt really good there too. So that same speed that I felt in the wave pool translated well to the East Coast. I got through the flat, mushy sections with no problem, and when the wave stood up, I had a great time with the board as well. It went off sections nice, it hit the lip well, and I'll say this, it felt a little too long at the pool, but here on the East Coast, that length wasn't a problem for me. It felt good, especially in the steeper sections. So the fins I rode most of the time in this board were the Hayden Shapes speed generating pivot fins, and those are in Futures technology. Those fins felt really good, and they kind of went with the speed generation that this board has inherently from its shape, and also provided a lot of pivot and looseness, which was great for this board. I did ride this board in a bigger day up in North Carolina in the Outer Banks, and I put the CI Futures fins in this board, and it felt great as well. A little more hold, but also that nice release off the top.
So stoked to have Zach on the show. Ace is always on the show. He's my official board tester. Why don't you just tell us about this board and your experience on it?
So I really like this board because it feels like it's got another gear. I can go faster with this fin setup
Yep.
than I can with any other of the boards that I ride here at the pool, and I'm also in South Texas in the ocean. I've surfed this board in Mexico, in waves with some punch, and I'm really happy every day when I'm on it. It's amazing.
So how tall are you and how much do you weigh? And then give us the dims on your board.
I'm 6 feet tall. I weigh 180 pounds. And this board is 28 liters.
28 liters, and
Yeah.
what's the length?
That's 5'8" is the
Okay.
length.
Right.
And
Ideal for the pool for you?
you know what? I can surf this board anywhere, and I feel like I can do anything I want. And I think a big part of that is the speed and the give, right? So
Right.
I can go fast, but then if my feet aren't always in the right spot,
Sure.
it allows me still to maintain the speed and flow down the wave. And on a wide variety of waves, it's
Right.
the pool, but it's short period swells in the
Right.
Gulf.
Right.
And so it's a little bit harder to surf. I don't have any problems with speed in the
Right.
Gulf. And then you go long period in Mexico, and the board just flies.
Nice. Well, Asa, stoked to have you. Happy every day. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
I was happy on the day I was riding it. I think the name suits it well. I just watched some clips to kind of refresh my memory on the board. Rode a little while ago. Rode it just like you see it. And it was flowing really well. It was. It had some good turns. It pivoted well. I felt like coming around some of the sections behind it, I was able to get up in the lift nicely and transition to the next turn pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of small wave performance board daily driver is kind of like the maxed out rocker we want to ride in the pool.
Yeah.
And they seem to go so good with, a twin plus trailer setup. It has the drive, keeps the board nice and loose. And I feel like when I look at your clips, that's what I saw. I saw a good drive. The board looked loose, playful, and fun.
Yeah, and speaking of the rocker on it, I mean, the rocker was, it had some rocker, but it wasn't totally flat. And some of the critical sections, when I was coming down, I was looking at them, the board was able to transition well through it and not pearl.
Sure. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's surfboard review on the CI Happy Every Day. Sorry it took so long. However, I felt like it really benefited us all to get all the different surfers involved. Think about how versatile the board is. We've got heavily front-footed surfers, East Coast waves, we've got neutral-footed surfers, we've got Waco, we've got point breaks in SoCal, Puerto Rico. We put this board through the paces, and we're all kind of saying the same thing. It's very versatile, it's forgiving, it's carrying great speed. Guys, if this board's not on your radar as your small wave performance board, daily driver, or even for a good portion of our community, including myself, this is an excellent high performance shortboard. Now, wave range, I'm putting it in that 2 to 6 foot surf for that intermediate all the way to pro level surfers having the best time. Now, special shout out thanks to CI for sending in all the boards for review and everybody's patience for us to get this board review done. Look, if you like the show, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.